Good morning, guys, and how are you guys doing?
Allegedly. Learned that from a lawyer.
Alright, so I know I've promised this video a couple of times, but I've been super busy with a whole bunch of other stuff, and weather and kids, so here we go. He's too young. He's too young. I was told he was too young for a whole bunch of stuff, and we are going to go over that in the next slide. Next couple of slides. What is the average potty training age? Well, in reality, we are born ready to use the toilet. In fact, there are patients in some countries, parents have their children fully potty trained by 9 months of age. Crazy. I never had any of my kids potty trained. My oldest was 2.5, my middle 3, my youngest, we're actually still working on him. But he's showing signs that he's ready. Despite the 6 months it took me to potty train my now 3-year-old son, I was very shocked when his pediatrician told us he was too young. So what I mean by that is I took Owen in for an appointment, and they told me that his pediatrician he asked me how things in development were going, and he told me that he was too young when I gave him. I was like, we've had some downfalls, accidents, all that stuff. So I was quite disappointed because, just because he's special needs, I don't believe that he was too young. He did it when he was ready, just like anything. Potty training, and how did we do it? Well, there's many different ways and methods to potty train your child. Elimination communication is one, which didn't work with Owen. And I never tried it because I wasn't one to deal with no diapers. You can, take them to the bathroom with you and, sit them on their little training potty while you go potty or whatever. What worked for Owen was letting him run around with just a shirt on so that he didn't have to worry about taking his pants off, taking his underwear off, and getting all ready. Simple steps, right? So with simple steps, I created a nudist, but it was the best way because he didn't have to worry about soiling his clothes. He has sensory issues, so it worked. And he was potty trained in days. When he was finally ready for no diaper and no pull-ups at night, he made that decision, and it was a complete day. When he was ready, he was done. He wasn't too young. I started when he showed interest. It took me 6 months from the time we started to have him completely fully potty trained. And I mean, besides getting up for him, which is kind of my fault because I didn't get up with him, we had one accident when he first stopped. So I mean, I'm pretty proud of him. That's a big step for somebody with a neurodivergent brain, whereas a neurotypical, we develop those senses and we don't have those sensitivities, right? So it worked. No pants for the entire summer. And, we got him potty training. Now we're working on dressing ourselves. So everything goes how it goes. Another question we get is, how does he do in new places? Owen does not like new places. He gets very overwhelmed and overstimulated very, very quickly. In that case, it can take him hours, right? If he's familiar with the place or we've been there a few times, it's good. It's taken me a whole year to be able to take him out without having a meltdown or breaking out. Grocery shopping used to be really hard to take him out, and he's starting to do better. He doesn't like doctor's offices. Even though it's someplace we frequent, he doesn't like being closed or confined into a small room. And I don't know if that's because it's a different place. It's not a safe place, right? We all have our safe places. But other than that, we're working on it. It's a work in progress. If he's comfortable, we stay. If he asks to go home, we go home. And I mean, it happens. Like, right? The goal is here to respect our children and their choices. If he doesn't want to be there and the other kids do, we stay for a little bit. If he's having fun, we'll stay until everybody's ready to go. It all depends on the situation and what is going on with those new places. And how does he interact with his siblings? Well, many of you know already from previous videos that I am doing, Owen is under assessment for autism. And autism children tend to interact differently depending on where they are on the spectrum. We are still in that process. We don't know where he is on the spectrum, but he is very intelligent. But when it comes to interacting with his siblings, things, well, just like anybody, we all fight with our siblings. We all bicker, normal development for 3. But if things don't go his way, the manipulation, children with autism see things very, very different. And I wish I could see the world in the way my son did. So I could understand the way he sees things and the way his brain works. Interaction is more manipulation, trying to control the situation to how they want to. And seeing as he struggles with communication still, that may not always go according to his plan. He wants the car to turn right. He wants the car to do this. Or his sibling is playing with something he wants, but they won't allow him. So sometimes we're good. Sometimes, we're dealing with meltdowns and temper tantrums and screaming because the situation, he can't manipulate the situation to how his brain wants the situation to go. So then he's overwhelmed. But for the most part, he plays. He's starting to use his imagination. His imagination is very advanced for that of a 3-year-old. The other day here, he was... What was he? He was flying around and he was your regular, look at Mom, I'm a fairy or I'm a witch. We just had Halloween. So his sister was a witch for Halloween. So he was a witch. He plays cars. He oh no, look, it's stuck in the mud and it can't get out. Oh, let's tow it out. And I'm sitting here watching him, he talks and he plays like he is an adult. He's a 3-year-old in a 30-year-old's body is what I like to tell people, and with some things he's so articulate. He's very clean. He likes his own space, so when he doesn't want to interact with his siblings, he does verbalize that, leave me alone. We're very on about getting, kids do respect him and him respecting others, but that comes with mom and dad respecting our children's choices. So, all of that said, we passed the potty training. We're still working on new places, and that gets better each time he goes out. It's a slow process, but it gets better. And interacting with siblings, we are learning how to use our words. He can talk. He is not nonverbal. He is semi-verbal, meaning that he can pretty much communicate everything with us unless he's overwhelmed or overstimulated, tired, or just can't find the way to communicate with us. And we especially notice that when, he's upset or he doesn't know how to control the situation. So that's a big concern about us is emotional communication. He does a lot of pointing still, which, it can be hard because I can sit there and ask, Owen, what do you want? or hey hun, like, do you want it this way? And he'll just grunt or eh, eh. So the sign language wasn't working for him, so we just went back to basic toddler methods, and he points to us if he wants something. Because that's like, he'll start talking or we can't understand him just because, I mean, you can only I can only half understand my almost 5-year-old. But that being said, I'm going to wrap this up so it's not a million hours long. This was more of a Q&A. This is a tester. I want to thank you all for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping to get videos up more frequently. I mean, life gets away from us. Happy November.